At Uruk, humanity stopped living around power and started building it. Uruk stood in southern Mesopotamia, in the river world, where some of humanity's first cities took shape. Before empires and law codes, this region was becoming something new: urban civilization. Uruk was one of the first places where that transformation became unmistakable. By the 4th millennium BCE, it had grown into one of the earliest true cities in history. Its population, scale, and organized labor made it more than a large settlement. It was a managed urban system. People gathered around temples, storehouses, workshops, and fields that fed the city and its institutions. Even its art suggests a world already structured by hierarchy, offering, and order. At the center stood sacred institutions tied to major gods, especially Inanna. These temples were not only religious spaces, they were engines of economic and political control. Priests and administrators coordinated land, labor, goods, and ritual obligations. That level of control required records. So one of humanity's greatest inventions emerged here: writing. The earliest writing was not epic poetry. It was accounting, grain, rations, deliveries, and work assignments. In other words, writing began as a tool of administration before it became a tool of literature. Uruk also reveals the physical mechanics of civilization: standardized bowls, vessels, and objects linked to work and distribution. Luxury items show that wealth and status were already differentiating people inside the city. Animal motifs and ritual objects reveal how religion and civic identity were fused together. This was a city where symbolic power and practical control reinforced each other. Administration also needed proof, ownership, and verification, which is why seals became so important. The wider Sumerian world would later express urban sacred power through monumental temple architecture. Those later ziggurats help us imagine the architectural logic Uruk helped set in motion. Urban life also meant specialization. Rulers, priests, workers, transporters, and scribes all depended on one another. Scenes of organized labor, banquets, and ceremony reflect a society already structured and ranked. At Uruk, civilization became scalable. It could feed many people, mobilize labor, and coordinate huge activity. That was the beginning of bureaucracy. Not paper bureaucracy, but seals, tablets, storage, and repeatable systems. Uruk then entered cultural memory through myth. It became the legendary city of Gilgamesh, the king whose story would echo through the ancient world. In that mythic shadow, Uruk became more than a city. It became a symbol of kingship, ambition, and mortality. The epic suggests that rulers die, but cities and their works endure. That idea fits Uruk perfectly. It was not only a place, it was a template for how civilization could work. Later, Mesopotamian rulers inherited the urban and administrative world Uruk had helped create. Foundation tablets and inscriptions belong to a long tradition of managed power that cities like Uruk began. Even after political centers shifted, the urban model endured. Sargon of Akkad, and later empires built on a landscape already shaped by cities, writing, and institutional power. That is why Uruk mattered so much. It made civilization governable. It did not invent humanity, but it helped invent the city, the record, the institution, and the idea that society itself could be organized at scale.